My name is Kammerdiener, and this video is about Bells Palsy, my experience postpartum. I've never heard of Bells Palsy before, and the reason that I wanted to do this video, even though it's a little bit on the humbling side, because I don't like to see pictures of myself on that area of my life, I think it's important for me to share, especially with moms that that had or are going to go through this. I never heard of this, and when I did the research, there was not a lot about Bells Palsy postpartum. In fact, my doctor even said that she was surprised because usually it tends to happen before or but not after pregnancy. So my name is Kammerdiener. I am a business owner, real estate and mortgage. We have also a building company. There's real estate agents that we have to manage, and also I had an 18-month-old when I was pregnant with or about to deliver my 2-month-old. You know, my family dynamics, there was a lot of stress. My dad kind of developing memory issues, maybe Alzheimer's, so there's a lot. You know, you're having new kids, your parents are getting older, growing older, you're a wife, you know, there's a lot of stress that it's happening, but I am stubborn. I learned through this experience that I'm not just stubborn, I'm really stubborn, because I thought I could do it all. For 10 years I didn't have my kids, and so I've been a businesswoman and I handle stress pretty good. Also, I have to say about myself that I have delayed reaction when I do things. So if I'm in a car accident, I can resolve, I can act. After the fact, I will crumble and maybe get under covers and, you know, cry because of the tragedy that happened, because it had happened in the past. This is why I'm able to say this. So being a business owner, especially in this economy, it's a little bit stress, and it creates stress. You want your agents to be blessed. You want the families, your clients, buyers and sellers to also have a smooth transaction, which is not always the case. So business-like, there was stress, and I worked all the way till they say push this baby. Literally, when they said you really need to get your bag ready, the first thing that I put in was my laptop, because I want to make sure that my clients were served. So that's my personality. I think I have to do it all, which is not the case. I'm blessed to have a very nice team, but that's just me. On the other side, I was very big. My belly was like, probably if you see me, and you'll see some pictures in here, I looked like I was having triplets. My amniotic fluid was probably 3 times the size, so they thought Ezekiel was going to be diabetic because of his belly was big too, but that caused that fluid. Normally a person has about 25%. I was at 40. So that was a lot of stress in my body as well. When my son was born, he was born 2 weeks preterm, and he was 9 pounds 11 ounces, big boys, and I did not have an epidural. So I had to go through that, and this time, this is my second child. The first time my blood levels were so weak, I was pre-anemic, that I don't remember the things that happened after the delivery. I passed out twice in the hospital. This is almost 2 years ago with my first son. And so they had to put me in a lot of medication. They wanted to do blood transfusion. I said, no, I want to try other things because I know that things could get complicated. So what I'm saying is, at that time, I didn't remember a lot of the stress my body went through. This time, we prepare ourselves, you know, my diet was better, the medicine was better, the prenatals, everything, vitamins, all good. So my levels was great. So that caused me to remember my body to feel every single thing naturally that a woman is, you know, created to do, which is deliver these precious creatures to the world. But my body went through a lot of stress. Physically, I went through a lot of stress. Mentally, I was in a lot of stress. I didn't know it. I was like, stress for sissies, but my body said, you gotta chill, because when my son was born, he was born with jaundice and had to go to the NICU for about a week. And so the reason that I say this is because nobody knows why Bell's palsy actually comes onto a person. Research has shown that kids could have it, adults could have it, older people could have it. People went to bed and woke up with not feeling, half of their face, and so nobody knows. So when I went to the doctor, they said it could be a viral infection, or it could be stress, but we were not sure. So what is Bell's palsy? Bell's palsy is when your nerves in your face, it could be on one side or it can be in the whole face, but in my case was only on one side of the face. Your nerves from your brain come through this little tube through your ear, right? That tube was inflamed. So there's that inflation that caused the nerves to disconnect from the communication between your brain and your face. So usually your face will drop very drastically on one side. You will lose taste on half of your tongue. How is that possible? I don't know, but it happens. So it changes the taste of your food. Your ear, you can't hear, your ear rings. You have pain, you have headache. So that's my experience, right? So I wanted to kind of tell you exactly that if you're feeling any of this, that's normal, and it goes from mild to very severe to getting better. That's the stages of the Bell's palsy. What I've researched and what happened to me. So, anyways, after having Ezekiel, we spent a week in the NICU, and I thought, well, maybe I picked up something at the hospital. The doctor dismissed him on a Sunday and said, okay, we're going to discharge you, but I want you to go to the pediatric the next day. So I called in the morning and we went to the doctor to make sure that he was all good and his physical, whatever. While sitting in the doctor's office, I had my brother and my husband with me because I couldn't drive. They told me not to drive. And by the way, I had him naturally, no C-section or anything like that. So my husband's driving, my brother's in the car, we get to the office, they check Ezekiel, everything's good, and now we're waiting for the nurse to be discharged. When I'm sitting there, my brother's telling a joke, and it was me sitting here, my husband to my side, and my brother in front of me. And he's telling me a joke, and I'm laughing, I'm thinking I'm laughing, and my brother asked, "Are you feeling okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm feeling okay." He says, so he continues with the joke, and I'm laughing. He says, "You're having a stroke." I said, "What?" So now, when I'm looking at him, I'm looking at my husband, and he said that this side of my neck, kind of was pulsing, and so he feared that I'm having a stroke because he saw my face kind of fell this side. And not drastically, but I couldn't open my mouth, and you'll see some pictures of how big or how wide. I think I just couldn't open half of my face. And the pictures look like I'm making faces, but I'm trying to smile. So half of your face is just not working. And so I didn't freak out because I'm like, wow, what do you know? We're at the doctor's office. So whenever I turned to my husband and I laughed, now my husband's freaking out. Now, if you don't know Corey, he doesn't freak out about anything, but when I saw him freak out about me, he's like, "Are you okay?" Then I'm like, something's wrong. I didn't feel pain. I felt like if I was stung by a bee on my eye, because it felt like it was swollen, but it wasn't. Everything was happening right in front of their eyes, and I had no idea. So my husband freaks out, go call the doctor. Now, this is a pediatric office, but they do have a general physician there, and he's, comes over and he tells me, say, ooh, ee, ah, smile, turn around and all these things. And I'm like, he's like, I think I know what you have, but I'm not sure. I want you to go to your doctor the next day. So he prescribed what I'm going to put on the pictures, the virus medicine and steroids. Now, mind you, I'm breastfeeding my newborn, so I'm freaking out, and I'm like, can I take this? And so he's like, well, it's very mild, but it's good that it's happening now. And that's one of the things that I want to kind of like convey. If you're having this, you need to seek assistance right away, because the first 7 days are the most critical one if it's a virus infection, those steroids needs to start working. But again, I didn't want to go that route because I don't want to pass on anything to my child. So during my pregnancy, I was also going to a chiropractor. So my husband is not too convinced about chiropractor because he's so busy. He really likes it, but it was him who told me, you know what, you need to call the chiropractor, because if it's nerves, because they explain it to us, if it's nerves, then everything comes from your spinal, right? So somehow she can actually assist. And I said, I will try to get any assistance that I can. Now, I try as much as I could so that I can get this, but at this point, I didn't know the severe of the Bells Palsy. I didn't know how bad it was going to get. Because at this point, I'm just thinking my eye is swollen. I have not seen myself in the mirror. I didn't look at my phone and try to kind of like flip the camera and see me. I was more worried about my child because he was still a little bit jaundiced. And so my mind was baby all the time, even though there's something going on with me. And I think that's the instinct of mom that I didn't have before, that I didn't know before. So I get home and I look at myself. I don't look that bad, and so I try to smile. And I tell you what that did to me, it ripped my heart, because I'm the kind of person, I didn't know this about myself until this happened. When I'm in the store, I'm walking by, people smile back at me. I have a permanent smile on my face. I didn't know that. And people are like saying hello. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? So I'm a friendly face. And now I'm trying to smile, and I look like people are saying, oh, this witch is coming. It's like I'm having this face that is rejecting people, and boy, that just destroyed my heart. And I didn't have this conversation. I'm being totally honest with you guys right now, and this is on video, and I can't believe that I'm doing this, because I just didn't want to have this conversation. But I think it's important because postpartum is also very real. And I'm a person of faith, and I try to cling to God in everything I do. But your flesh is you're still human. You still, have issues. Everybody has issues. Everybody has heartache. And to me, not being able to kiss my kid because slop will fall, right? And then it will make me think of, well, you can't even do this, right? You're by yourself. I had a person that was helping me because, my mom wasn't there, so I couldn't have this. And so I called my mom, and she would cry with me. And so it's like, I can't call her because she's going to get worse. So postpartum tried to sink in. And I think it was because of my kids that I didn't give in. Because my firstborn, he's just such a happy dude, right? And he would come and hug me, and I think that was God kind of like showing me little things. And he would come and hug me, and he has the most beautiful smile, and then he will bat his eyes. And so those things are the ones that I clinged on when I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, who are you? Because my face, even though it may not seem so extreme on the pictures, but the moment that I actually smile in front of the camera, it looked like I was making fun of myself, and so to see that, and then I would go to the store, and people, good morning, and I would have to make myself just really be like serious, because I didn't want to show that, or make it seem that I'm a mean person, because now my smile is crooked, kind of like I was thinking Beauty and the Beast. I'm the Beast on this story right now. So that was a struggle. I did not open the Bible and read. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't do that. I was trying to stay positive, like the minefield was here. right? Because people would come. I didn't want people to see me. I didn't come to the office. The doctor did say you need to go to your OBGYN the next day. You need to rest. And that word is not in my vocabulary, right? Especially with 2 kids and a business that has to run. You need to rest and really, really rest. And I kid you not, I needed to learn that and be selfish. I think about it as being selfish to myself, because laying in bed in the middle of the day, to me it was like I'm such a busy person that I felt useless, and then that's when the postpartum comes in, because you're useless, you're not doing anything, your people need you, because some agents are still texting you, and you can't do what you're supposed to do. Your husband has all this on his plate, and that was my thought during that time. And so I have to learn to kind of like stop. If you're not well, your kids are not going to be well. And that's what really made me stop and, okay, I need to sleep, but I had to put music on my headsets, kind of like not to hear the kids cry. I am so grateful and thankful for my mother-in-law. She paused her life for 4 weeks to help me. I was pumping because I couldn't have the baby with me. Another thing that the Bells Palsy does is I couldn't shut my eye. So you can't shut your eye during this time. So the next thing that the doctors are worried about is infection, that you lose your cornea or whatever they call it in there. So now I have to take my eye shut and make myself fall asleep in the middle of the day. So I had to go to the pharmacy and buy tape for my face and shut my eye and put like a parrot thing, patch, and I had to have that in eye drops. So eye care, that's another thing. Besides rest, eye care, if you can't shut one of your eyes, because you can potentially lose the eye. So when you hear that, you're like, gosh, what else can come on this? So eye care, lubricating your eye during the day, because you can't make it cry. Even though this one's crying, because you can't. I couldn't stop crying. Looking at my kids, having somebody else care for my kids, not being able to eat. Oh my God, having to eat with a spoon or soup, or I love soups or whatever. You have to eat with a straw because half of your mouth can't work. So I go to my doctor the next day, and they confirm it is Bells Palsy. Now it's progressing, okay, day to day. And I have to say, I believe mine was not, it didn't lag so long because I made a point to do my exercises every day. So the next day I went to the doctor's office. I brought the prescription that the other doctor gave me, and they agreed. So the antivirus, the steroid was key. And so that same day I called my chiropractor and I went. This woman is awesome, and I will put some of the information in there, but she went ahead beyond what she's supposed to. So she did a little bit of research, and I ordered some tape for my face, not just for my eye, but now I have to tape my face up this way, and you'll see some pictures, because muscle memory. So now all of this is down, no nerves, and in order when the feeling comes back so that your face doesn't stay the way it is, now you have to tape all of this up and here and do exercises with your hand every morning, every minute, from here to on. I went to massage sessions for my face, therapeutic, like once a week. I was going to the chiropractor every 3 days a week. I did not do acupuncture, although a lot of people did. I never done it. And I was already, when I decided that I was going to go, I was seeing already some progress of getting better. My my face would kind of like twitch, and that meant that feeling was coming. I'd never heard of adjusting your ears, and I'm telling you, when my ears rang so much that it hurt that I had to fall asleep, I went to the chiropractor and she adjusted my ear. It sounded like something popped inside, and that actually was, the pain was gone. So it is true that something in there. So chiropractic, even though you think chiropractic, break, like adjust your back, it's all in the nerve. So that was a big plus for me. And then I YouTube exercises for Bells Palsy, and that I did every day. And it sounds so silly because I can do it now. Ooh, ee, ah. Take your tongue out. Take your tongue in. Do expressions, try to smile, try to raise your eyebrow, try to make your nose big, because I couldn't, it was so funny, I couldn't move my nose, you can see my one flare, the other one won't. And so you're trying to do all of this exercises with your mouth and your face not moving, and that was frustrating. And so you have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing it, because you have to believe that somehow these people that are telling you to do this, they know what they're saying, even though you don't see any results. Well, I'll tell you something. My Bells Palsy only lasted 4 weeks. And I was on point, because all of the other videos that I've seen, people had it for years, at least 3 months, 6 months. And you would still see that the eye wouldn't shut all the way. I don't have time for that. I can't wait 3 months. Mentally, I was exhausted, and I just couldn't. If it was in my power, I was going to do anything I could, and I took it very seriously. And so this taught me that to take care of me first. Even though I love my kids and my husband, my family, I have to be selfish at that point, because if I didn't rest, then this wouldn't be again. And you see me right now, it's like it never happened. But if you see the pictures that I'm about to post in this video, it was really damaging to my heart. And women will understand when I say this. Your body goes through so much stress, through so much change, that it's going to adjust, right? And on top of that, if we're adding additional stress mentally and emotionally, then I believe the fact of the matter for me, in my case, I believe it was the stress level. Maybe not an antivirus. I took the steroids against my chiropractor because she's more holistic than anything. But I took therapy also, massage therapy. This person in here, I lived in the Spring area in Houston, Texas, and she is awesome. She had this thing, I don't remember the name, but also it was a paralysis where half of her body also stopped working. And so after a 3-year-old that she had, so she could relate to my pain, and she went to town in my face and did all these massages. And so I'm grateful that I had that resources to actually take care of myself. The mental game is real. Postpartum is no joke. My kids are well. Ezekiel is really good now. They're both great. I'm really good. I'm back at the office. I'm trying to keep the commitment with the rest, eating my 8 hours, look at me, sleeping my 8 hours. I do like to eat, I need to eat well. Working out, that's another thing. Right now, postpartum, I'm tired of the kangaroo pouch is what I call it, so I'm working really hard to get back into fitness. But above all, I want to thank God for the people that He surrounds us with. Because I had people that, even though I did not want to, I really didn't want to see anybody. And this is going to make me break down, because I want to bring joy to the world. I don't want people to see everybody has problems, so why do they care about my problem? I need to, this is my mentality, I need to kind of push through and make it work. And so I had people to come to me and to show the love, even though I said, I don't want to see you. They will come and bring food and love on me and say how beautiful you are. And that's what I want to convey. You are beautiful. This is temporary. And that's something that I had to learn, because I'm the kind of person that I like to do things my way, and let me find out if I can just push through, and it's hard for me to ask for help. And so I just want to thank people that came over to my house, sometimes unannounced, because they know that if they say, I would say, oh, I'm busy, no, I can't. But I had so much love, and that's my message to you today. Above all, there is people in your life that love you. Your body went through so much changes, and you did an amazing thing, which was to push this human being and give life with all the love in your being, and that person is here now. So I want you to, if you had a child and then you encountered Bells Palsy, I want you to know that this is very temporary. And that was hard to hear when I had the Bells Palsy, because it's like, you want to know how much temporary, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. Nobody can tell you. What I can tell you is, do absolutely your best to do the exercises. Google Bells Palsy exercises. Take the medicine if they prescribed it. Go to the doctor immediately, and rest. Sleep during the day. I know it's difficult for some, and count that people around you love you no matter how you look, because that was my experience. And I'm not a selfish person, I don't think, that I care too much about my look, but when they take your smile away and you're used to smiling, that was hard for me. But thank goodness it was just temporary, only 4 weeks. I can see my ooh, ee, ah. That was really hard, and it was only 4 weeks. So I just want to tell you, stay strong, stay positive. You'll come out of this one also.